When the noise canceling headphones don't work, that's when you know you're in trouble. We had an incident on the flight where, you know, a million bad flying stories, obviously, but like we come back from Salt Lake and a woman next to Veter I bring Gary Veter on the road, and she just had a full-on panic attack where like it was bad turbulence, but like you can't be the person who's like, that's insane. You have some self-respect. That's how you want to die?
You need to have like a nosedive drop in altitude for you to scream. That would be my barometer.
I would think so.
Like if it's shaking, but it's still horizontal, I think you can scream if the gas masks come down.
Yeah,
because I would definitely yelp. I'd be like, what the fuck is this?
We did have that
like
once
a quick descent.
We flew to Rochester, and it's so weird. I saw Jim Norden the night before, and he goes, "You're gonna fly to Rochester?" And I said, "Yeah, it's like a 40-minute flight." And he goes, "I hate those fucking shaky planes. I always drive." And it's so weird he said that because the next day, we had this weird thing where I'm with Gary, the woman sitting next to him. We were supposed to be sitting together, but she took his seat, and it was like I'm like, it's a 40-minute flight. Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
So, but she was kind of a piece of shit about it, where she was like, "I'm sitting here," and Gary's like, looked at his ticket, and he's like, "Whatever."
Yeah.
So, we do that thing where we're landing in Rochester, and it's shaking so bad that I turn around, and I look at Gary, and he's like, "We're gonna crash.
This is it. We're dead.
Like, we're dead." And it's one of the things where you're looking for someone for anything. He just gave me like a.
That's it.
He's like,
we die.
He's like, and he looks. It sucks when you see your friend look scared.
Yeah.
Because you look at, and then you even look at the flight attendant for reassurance. The flight attendant was like this, and I was like, oh fuck! No. You see him doing this.
Yeah.
So we were freaking out, and then going down. I was like, we're gonna crash. Takes back off midair, and I was like,
"We got
to try this again." Top gunned it.
Yeah.
You top gunned it on a commercial flight. So goes back up, and we're just like, "Is this like a German wing situation? Is he just gonna like go higher and just drop?" I mean, we're fucking dead. And the woman next to Gary starts going, and that was like the only satisfaction we got. I was like, "Fuck this bitch." She was mean to us earlier, but. But yeah, it was terrifying. Then we 10 minutes later, he goes, "I'm sorry about that. I couldn't hop on. I had to be a pilot." And I was like, "That's understandable." But he goes, "I'm sorry. Yeah, that was pretty bad."
There was a flight recently I read about that apparently like was like 100 feet off the water.
Really?
It went. Let me see if I could find it. It was like, because what was crazy though is it happened in December, and nobody.
Which
posted
airline?
about, I want to say it was Delta. Let me see if
like
nobody.
I
know. But we fly that a lot, so I think.
I had one time when I was in 8th grade, we had a class trip, and we were supposed to go to DC, but 9/11 happened. So
sorry.
I was a pretty big victim about that.
9/11 fucked up your plans.
Yeah,
dude. It's really rude.
We had this girl it was her first time ever flying.
Yeah,
and her ears wouldn't pop, so she was just screaming, crying on the plane.
That is brutal.
That's like your head's gonna explode.
How hard it is to
die.
just tell someone like
Stop.
yawn?
Yeah,
just yawn,
bro. That happened to me.
Have you tried yawning?
Where were we?
Yeah, but sometimes
recently?
They just won't pop. If you have a sinus infection or something, they won't.
I got off the plane. I went home. My whole head was.
You told me this story.
I've never been more scared in my life.
You look like one of the Pep Boys.
I was.
That sucks.
I was just like, what if this is my life now? What if it never goes back? And I never got that satisfaction. It like just slowly got better to the point that one day I was like, oh, I guess I'm not. It's not bothering me anymore. But to not have that release is like, it was a United Airlines flight.
Because I'd kill myself so fast. Oh. I wouldn't even.
How long before you kill yourself?
Days.
Yeah, it was
probably 4 days.
I remember being like, something's got to change.
I mean, it would be. I would never be able to stop thinking about it. So I'd be like, well, this is like, I can't think about this forever.
We were in Phoenix, and I was sick as a dog, and we did Mark Norman's bachelor party episode, and Joe DeRosa just like can't stop being like, I went in being like, I'm kind of sick, but I got to rally. It's Mark's bachelor party.
Right.
And DeRosa does that thing. We have a bar in studio, so DeRosa's like, shots! Shots! I'm like, dude, you're 46. You got to mellow out. Shots! I'm like, all right. I'm like, what am I going to be, the guy who doesn't take the shot?
I know.
I'm 36. I should be at this point, but I can't. I have, no willpower. Doing the shots. I'm fucked up. We're at dinner afterwards. We're all pretty wrecked. Yeah. And then at a certain point, I'm just like, oh, I'm going to be sick for Phoenix. On the flight, I'm like, I'm fucking sick. All right. in the green room. Of course, I'm with Gary, who is like a hot chick, who just is the whole time like, you were supposed to take me to Pizzeria Bianco. I'm literally like hanging on by, like the shows are killing me. I'm laying on the couch just like, oh, I can barely hang on by. And I was like bummed. Phoenix is a fun city to, go out in and stuff and hit the town. Vito, the whole time, you piece of shit. I'm eating takeout because of you. I'm trying to rally here. And but then on the flight back, sinus infection, it was days. It kills you.
I mean, there's just things that the human body can't fucking at a certain age. Nope, no more. Combine them, you're done. This flight, United Airlines.
He is a hot. If you read the text thread, I have a group of people who go on tour with me now. I have James Webb, who films and directed my last special. I have Brian, who's my tour manager, and I have Gary. And every text thread from Gary, whatever anyone says, Gary responds with, "Shut the fuck up and buy me dinner, bitch." That's every text from Gary. Take me out fancy tonight, bitch. And it's always, he finds whatever 5-star restaurant and he makes me do it. And I'm like, fuck it. I mean, why not?